Hello people, how yous doing? It's turned out quite a nice day here. I'll give you a look where I'm sitting. How you doing, pal? How you doing, Will? I'm sitting in the Garden of Heroes. I'll wait till a couple of more people come in and then we'll take a wee tour around. Beautiful though. Right people, you should see this place. It's lovely. So we're in the Garden of Heroes in Dunfermline, right next to Dunfermline Abbey. Dunfermline Abbey. Dunfermline Abbey, where Robert the Bruce's bones lie. This is just a memorial garden. The Garden of Heroes. Oh, there's older masonry than that, Will Bishop. I'm just waiting till the people come in. I'm going to show you old masonry. This is new masonry, Will, compared to the stuff I'm going to show you. But these are just some of the fallen, some of the modern ones. I'll give you a little taste of the old masonry. There's some of it down here. Here's some of the old masonry. That's the other church in the background, you'll see that soon. Here's some of the old stuff. Oh, it's an old wall. It's an old wall along here. You see the old arches. This is the old masonry, mate. The original Dunfermline Abbey was built in the year 1160s, something like that. But there was an original building before it. Goes back further. Here's some old masonry, guys. Look at that. There's some of your old masonry. There's the old doorways. These are two doorways as well. I'll show you these doorways. I'll walk along the old wall. You see it's still a couple of feet thick, the old wall. From here to about, yeah, still thick walls. See how thick it is here. See how thick the wall is here. Look at this, right guys. Look at this stuff. I'm going to put my smoke away just to show you this stuff. I hope I don't lose my signal. This is like a wee, it's only a couple of feet square, I'd say. 3 feet by about 2 feet. So it's like a rectangle, and have a secret tunnel. Not sure where that bit goes. Up here we have a gap. I'll climb up. Hope I don't lose the signal. The walls are so thick. So that's me come out the doorway. So I've came in that way, come out this way. God knows where that leads. Look at all the rubbish here. This is disgusting, the amount of rubbish here. It's a fucking disgrace. Historic Scotland should get their finger out and clean this shit up. Got a fucking tinfoil. There's probably junkies sitting in here. Probably fucking needles about here. Should be careful actually. It fucking is probably. The fuck is that? Is that a syringe? Is that a fucking syringe? I swear to God. I'll be making a fucking complaint to Historic Scotland if that's a syringe. You see the old window? Anyway, got jumped in. Oh. So this was obviously part of an old church, old abbey, this part here, an old cloister, something like that. It's part of the old abbey. See some masonry there. That could have been an old doorway in fact, this part. You see with these two, could have been some kind of archway here before. Right guys, I'm going to take you on the main. This, you've only seen a little snippet. There's so much more, people. There's so much more here. In fact, I would have access to more if it wasn't for COVID, because you can't get in the building. Now we're going to leave this part behind. We're going to leave the Garden of Heroes behind, and we're going to look at the main part of the Abbey. And there's more Scots royals being buried here than anywhere else in Scotland, apart from Iona. But Iona has the real Scottish kings, the old Celtic kings, the old Irish kings, old Irish and Scottish kings. These hold the Norman kings of Scotland. It kind of all went pear-shaped when St. Margaret of Scotland, she got her hands on being the Queen of Scotland. Her sons, King David, and they're all Normans. Something went wrong with Malcolm and Margaret. They let in the Normans. See, this is the old Abbey. It's quite windy, people. I'm sorry if it's picking up on the mic, but it's really windy here. Interesting symbology on the fences. Interesting symbology on the fences. Look at this. It's almost like a tree of knowledge with apples on it. And this is the fleur de lis. This is the French. This is a French royal symbol. And I've never seen them with the antlers. These are almost like antlers of some type. So we're going under the sort of main part of the Abbey. Going under this archway. So this is called the Pens. This gatehouse linked the Abbey guest house with the church and monks' quarters. Much later, the building housed Dunfermline's first damask weaving loom, set up by James Blake in 1718. Damask linen became Dunfermline's main industry for the next 200 years. See, this was some kind of decorative carving worn away through time. But like I said, the original buildings here date back to 1100s. 1100s. Better move quickly through this because I'll lose my signal. I think this is where the royal residences was. I can't get down to read that. Dunfermline Palace, probably built in the 13th century, originally as guest house of the Abbey, became a royal palace for Scotland's kings and queens. In the 16th century, alterations and additions were commissioned by King James VI and Queen Anne. The palace was birthplace of many royals, including King Charles I in 1600, a son of James VI and Queen Anne, a daughter. Princess Elizabeth in 1596, grandmother of George I, the first Hanoverian king and the ancestor of the present royal family. So this place, guys, this is the birthplace of the Imposter kings. Yep, you heard it right. The Imposter kings. And somehow these Imposter kings managed to take over the High Kings of Scotland and Ireland and Wales. But what a legacy they left behind, eh? Look at that for a building. Look at that for a building. Hi Jed, giving you a quick hello and watching in another room. Hello Jane, how you doing? Nice to see you. Didn't expect the Americans to be here. It'll be quite early for you guys. Right, King Charles I, 1600 to 1649. I thought we zoomed in there. Charles I, King of Great Britain and Ireland, was born in the Royal Palace of Dunfermline on the 19th of November 1600. The second son of James VI and first and Anne of Denmark, he was the last king to be born in Scotland. Traditional tales report evil portents attending his infancy. And one of these, a bloody cloak was said to have blown in through a window and rested on the child's cradle. Charles became heir to the throne in 1612 after the sudden death of his elder brother Henry, and in 1625 was crowned king in Westminster Abbey. In 1633, the year of his Scottish coronation, the month of July saw his first recorded visit to Dunfermline since childhood. During his brief residence in the palace, he created Sir Robert Kerr, an earl, and conferred knighthoods on 5 more of his Scottish favourites. Charles' reign was characterised by bitter political and religious strife and culminated in civil war. Captivity and defeat led to his trial as a tyrant, traitor and murderer. Charles Stewart, on the 30th of January 1649, he was executed in front of the Palace of Whitehall, meeting his death with dignity and courage. His remains were interred in the royal vault at Windsor. So the Imposter king, the Stewart family. The Stewarts in Scotland, eh? The Imposter royals. All they were stewards to the Normans, the Stewarts. And they wrangled their way into the Scottish lineage. But they're kind of traitors. I'd say the Stewarts are traitors. The real Scottish kings are lost forever. Dunfermline Abbey nave. This 12th century nave is the oldest part of the Abbey church. The Abbey was virtually destroyed in 1560 during the Reformation. During the next 200 years, the tower, steeple and supporting buttresses that can be seen today were constructed. So this is Dunfermline Abbey, guys. And you can't get in it today because of the whole COVID rubbish. The COVID con. The biggest con the world has ever seen. This slab was erected by David Alexander in the year 1892. Is that 1892? But you can see here, this is some of the original carving. Yep. The real Scottish kings have been lost to history. Well, the Normans came in and took over England, Scotland and Ireland. The real royals are lost. But these are some of the original carvings of the building. You see the faces. And it was the Stuarts who supported the Latin Catholicism. They pushed Latin Catholicism in Scotland, the Stuarts. What a building though, what a building. It's getting a bit windy here. It's almost like they can hear me. See something would have sat in here. Probably a statue of Saint Margaret. Check this out, guys. Check this out. The Bruce. And you can see this is the old part of the church. It's like two churches, and there's a new part being smashed on the end. Strange stone. Something Boyd, John Boyd. It's John Boyd. Right beside the tree. Margaret Kerr. This is like the new part. This is like the new Gothic part. It's been slapped on the old Abbey. Still old. This part's still old. Yep, Dunfermline used to be the capital of Scotland. That's right. Oh, look at this. Look at this grave. Look at this one over here. It's like a crypt rather than a grave. Pretty cool. So you can see this imposing part has been slapped onto the end of this. Practically two abbeys. Look at this. This looks pretty important. The Reverend Ralph Erskine. Reverend Ralph Erskine Memorial. The railings of the Erskine Memorial were replaced with the aid of funding from West Fife Common Good. The railings. So apparently the bones of Robert the Bruce are in this abbey. I think his heart was taken to the so-called Holy Land. His heart was taken to the fake Holy Land, which is probably... They're saying it's like Jerusalem or some shit like that, but it's probably Scotland. Some old crypts in here. Even these... I think these are gravestones, but they're just so fucking... Is it gravestones or curb? It's almost like a curb. Let's see if we can find any more interesting gravestones, guys. This one looks nice. This one kind of stands out. It's a Memento Mori style. So it's going to be like the 17s, possibly 16s. William something. Is that Kellogg? There we go, Memento Mori. Memento Mori. These gravestones were a lot more Memento Mori before, like the 1800s. You find that a lot of graves are Memento Mori. It's an old one, 1775. James Miller, Mason. The last person to be hung in Dunfermline was James Ramsay for stealing a sheep. Aye. Aye, they've taken over. He'd taken over a long time ago. 1,000 years ago. That looks like an old coat of arms. You can see the unicorn in the middle. That looks like a set of calipers or something like that. This is probably a mason hammer, a masonry hammer. Who's this? James Lytham? Hard to even read that. It's another James. Is it James Thompson? Was sticking out the tree. So obviously this gravestone was here before the tree. Look at that. And the tree's almost uprooting the stone. So this place, guys, is one of the most culturally important places in Scotland. And as you can see, it's dead. One of the most culturally important places in Scotland, and it's dead. There's no one here. It's a bloody shame. What a place, guys, what a place. That old pink building there, that's one of the oldest buildings in Dunfermline as well, I think. The old Abbot's house over here. This pink one over here. (1821) Dewar. John Flockart. Euthan Mitchell. John Flockart and Euthan Mitchell. Look at this place. I'm sure this is an old priory. You can see it's definitely, this was part of the abbey now. You see those bloody German eagles, those German, Polish fucking eagles. It isn't part of Scotland's true royal dynasty. These are the impostors, the Hanoverians. Even the Stuarts. The Stuarts are impostors. That's a nice building as well, this one, but this one in the background, but it's further away, and you need to come out of here and into the street. But if I've got enough battery, guys, I'll show you that building. Quite an amazing building as well. The architecture on it is sublime. 1760. John Stevenson. That's my Mrs. uncle's name, John Stevenson. Couple of graves, the cages around them here. It's an interesting one. It's almost like a slot. It's almost like a doorway, a slot. I've still not seen any ancient yew trees in this cemetery, which is unusual because there's always a yew tree in Scottish cemeteries. 2 rooms, 1823. Is that John Williamson? Look at that one. 1713. 1713. Is that Rap or Wrath? 1737. 1737 or 1787? Some really old ones around here. Jesus Christ, look at this. This is a really old one. Almost looks like he's been turned upside down. Jesus Christ, man. What's been going on here? Battery, guys, there's still plenty left. Still plenty left to show you. Is that John Walken? Wonder if he's he's any relation to Christopher Walken. Mausoleums and crypts. Well, the mausoleums are inside the abbey here, but unfortunately you can't go inside because of this COVID nonsense. Oh. Look at that. Doesn't that look like the Holy Grail? Adam. Validation boy, it's not Adam, it's Adam. Oh, there's a nice one up there. Right beside one of the buttresses. A nice grave. That one. GW, oh my god. It's my initials. Jed Wolf. Ah, my initials. I found my initials on one. Oh my god, I'm gonna die. Oh, can you not see anything? Might have lost the signal. Right guys, am I back? Am I back, people? Can you see anything now? I was just saying, guys, I found a grave with my initials on it. Jed Wolf. GW. That looks like an old entrance. Still nothing. No way. Back, people. Tell me when I've got video, guys, or I might have to restart the stream. I just checked my battery. Oh, get some chimes. No video. Oh. Right guys, I might have to take it, still nothing here. Ugh. Right people, I'll just end the stream and I'll make a new one, right? Right guys.